Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
But go into this game thinking we're 11-2. We're good.
Yeah.
We're and we beat them the first time.
I don't know who you're trying to psych up or why.
And
the odds?
and
no chance.
Okay, so hear me out. Don't interrupt. Just let me finish.
But Evan's right. Why BYU?
They only lost to Texas.
They lost twice to Texas Tech.
All right, we said we we're going to briefly talk about college. All right.
I'm sorry, Evan and I like football.
I'm so sorry. When we were talking about the Broncos and the Raiders, I was joking. I was being facetious.
Were you?
As they say. The amount of bitching that goes on social media between fan bases, and ours included. Like, we're not rid of this. Okay.
I can't imagine your timeline.
I say this with all the love in my heart. Please go touch grass. Like, go do something else. You want the Patriots clinching scenarios this weekend?
Oh, yes, please.
Sure.
They can clinch a playoff berth 6 different ways.
I don't care. Your punctuation, Jordan, is absolutely terrible, okay? I don't know if you're doing that on purpose or what. The fact that I got through the email the way I did is a credit to me. I'm not concerned about it. I'm concerned that fans are concerned about it.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Wednesday here at Gillette Stadium. And Alex, we need our show monitor on the board over here. I can't see myself. Anyway, it is Alex.
Let's see how it all looks.
Agreed.
Alex in the booth. It's Evan. It's Paul. It's me. It's Deuce. And we're here talking about Patriots. It's Open the Book Day, not Turn the Page. It's Open the Book Day on the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, my book's been open, Fred.
Oh, yeah.
Evan,
yeah.
too. Evan's been grinding. Evan's got even an eye on Baltimore, too, I think.
Yes.
Okay, you're already looking ahead. You're doing the advanced scouting?
Watch the Little Ravens last night.
So this weekend you want to not go to Gillette. We'll send you to Baltimore to go watch that game.
I think it's a job I'd actually really like doing.
Advanced scouting?
Yeah.
Okay.
How come when I tell you that, you say, no, I'm not interested in that?
Because, like, I don't want to take myself that serious. Like, I don't want to have that big of an ego to think that I actually could.
Why not?
But I that piece of it, I probably is my favorite.
I read your what do you call it? Your preview for the game?
Game plan.
Your game plan?
Yeah.
And it was very good.
Thank you.
So
that.
I think you could do that.
Yeah, now they do it to the nth degree, and they
You
also
never know if you don't try.
They also do a bunch of different other things about preparing for the game that aren't just like watching for cool plays. Like I do it, but like
you're looking for trends. You're looking for substitution progression.
Well, that's what I mean. They're watching the sideline. They're watching substitution patterns, and I'm not doing that necessarily. I'm more just watching.
But you could do it.
I feel like maybe.
Yeah.
Why not? Thanks. I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
I've been telling you that for 2 years now.
Anyway,
take a shot.
It's a lonely job, though. It's a lonely job.
Yeah,
A lot of hotel
I'm not
rooms.
sure the wife would like it. It's that's my favorite part though, is to watch ahead of the other opponent. What are the Bills look like? What do the Ravens look like? Whatever. That's fun.
All right.
Look ahead.
All right.
Looky Lou.
So Bills coming up. Weather has changed.
We got news.
From yesterday to today, all the precipitation seems to be gone.
Sweet.
Good, Fred.
Yeah,
That's
so
good news.
A little bit cooler than it was, but still in the 30s. But no precipitation during the game, so we're dry.
Yeah,
we're
looks
dry.
good.
Hopefully.
And Evans thinks that favors Drake May.
I do.
The dry weather. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I do. I think that, and I'm not saying that he can't, so don't make this a big thing. I'm just saying we haven't seen it yet. A weather game in December and January that he goes out there and plays well and wins. We haven't seen it yet. Whereas I've seen that a million times with Josh Allen. Josh Allen.
Right, we saw it last week.
Right, played in the bad weather in Buffalo and played extremely well plenty of times. So I just think that this team's, that's just a little bit of an unknown is how they're going to handle the conditions.
I think it's one of the big subplots of just generally the Bills have been here. They've been around for a while. They've played in big games. They're used to this. We're trying to figure out when the last time the Patriots played a game this big in their own stadium. So I think it's an element of unknown as well for Drake May and just the team in general, a young team, a team that had turnover, but they haven't really been in this kind of
Nope,
pressure
this is
situation.
all new.
Where so how do they pull together and come out of a bye and start this thing back up again? That's what I felt like was kind of a theme. We'll hear from Vrabel here in a little bit, but I think that's getting that energy back up, that energy that you came onto the field with in Monday Night Football. How can you get that going again?
Well, we talked about it yesterday. Whether or not it's relevant, I think it is a little bit. Vrabel is 6-0 as a head coach coming out of the bye. I think it matters a little bit.
Yeah,
Shows that he keeps his team focused. Whichever team. Obviously we're talking about the Titans, and it's not exactly like they were world beaters, but he had them 6-0 coming out of the bye. So
And they played. Barth has all the numbers on this. They've like blown teams out in Tennessee off the bye, like won by multiple scores in some of those games too. Now I don't know all the context of what teams they were playing and who was hurt and all. I don't know all the context, but he's done very, very well out of the bye.
So we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reminded a little bit. I remember a storyline being that Vrabel's teams didn't play great out of the training camp, out of the season openers, that his teams had some stumbles there. So I don't know, just interesting, more interested in what he establishes here and, learns from that first experience. And there are things to take, good and bad.
Yep. What else do we have to talk about today?
I'm locked on the Bills.
So one of the things, and I go and do my show later, Fred, on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I know that they're going to be talking about today is the point spread, and not just in New England. So just so people know, right now, I know all this stuff is subject to change, but I think the latest number that DraftKings has is the Bills are favored in this game by 1.5, which I found a little surprising, to be honest.
The disrespect.
And then I looked and I saw Denver is at home against Green Bay, and they're also underdogs, I believe, by 2.5. So the Packers are favored in that game. So clearly, the bookies, the bookmakers,
The houses?
the sharps, the touts.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they told me they have a new nickname for me.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah, Freddie Fields. But after this week, maybe not so much.
I don't know if you want to go tell that one around the office.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure you want to be known as that.
Up on admin level. Here comes Freddie Fields. Look out.
I think HR may want a word.
Hey, guys. What's
But
going on?
I did find it a little interesting. And Evan, I know you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I
Disrespectful.
I think I was a little surprised by it. These things, and Fred will make fun of me because these things don't generally move my needle one way or the
I
other.
don't want to know what moves your needle.
But
Freddie Fields moves his needle.
I think the Patriots have won 10 in a row. The Broncos have won 10 in a row, and it seems like people still don't necessarily believe in them.
Well, isn't this just like the established hierarchy?
Well, that's what it is.
Like,
obviously.
Green Bay has been good for a
Yeah.
while. Buffalo's
Listen,
been good.
I get it, and I love to play the disrespect card, but I've been thinking about it. I think this is more about respect for Josh Allen than it is disrespect for the Patriots.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not up in arms over it. It's not,
I get it.
It's not something I'm going to lose any sleep over, but I did find it interesting, and I would be curious to see if it because they set the lines based on their analytics, and there's no question that they have some intangible stuff, like Evan just mentioned. The pedigree of Josh Allen and what Green Bay has done. That's certainly part of this. But if it's a bad line, quote unquote, I would expect it to shift in the Patriots,
Because of the money.
the people would be betting the Patriots. If you think the Patriots are going to win this game, well, I'm getting points at home. The Patriots, 10-game winning streak, I'm at home. I would think a lot of money would come in on the Patriots, and that line would slide, closer to even, if not the Patriots being favored by the time kickoff happens on Sunday. So I think that's something to watch, something to monitor.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that Buffalo, just looking it up now, it's not by much, but Buffalo's 10th in DVOA right now, and the Patriots are 14th. The DVOA hasn't loved the Patriots really all year. A lot of that's because of their schedule. They adjust for schedule and strength of schedule. But Green Bay is 5th. Denver is down here in the middle. So it's just these teams that haven't done it yet, that haven't have the proof of concept, that the analytics I think do probably say that Buffalo and Green Bay are a little bit better than the Patriots and the Broncos, despite the records, and that's how you get it.
I feel like that's how it should be. I mean, I have a lot of respect for what Josh Allen and the Bills have done over the last few years. I mean, we've gotten, people clap back at us for loving them too much, but how can you not respect the player that Josh Allen is? And I feel like a little bit of an underdog going in, whether the sharps say it or not. And this is on the Patriots to, beat the 5-time defending division champs.
And sometimes these point spreads are, just way off and they're proven wrong. But most of the time, money talks.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty much on the nose, and that's why they make a lot of money.
As someone who's last in the picks against the spread, I can confirm it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. So I'm not up in arms about the Patriots being a 1.5.
I am surprised though.
Yeah,
I think they'll use it. Vrabel's.
No doubt in my mind.
I don't know if he's
Vrabel
going to get
will
up
use
there
it.
and say we're on.
Nobody believes.
Yeah,
But that's it's not going to be like, did you see the spread?
Right.
But he's going to say,
to
no
me-
one thinks you can win this game.
To me, more importantly, if I'm the head coach, this is your chance to really prove yourself and who we are.
Yeah.
We talked about identity, and we've done a good job so far establishing us. But this takes us to the next level, or the next step in establishing our identity. A championship potential game in December that we can win, and if we do, we're the AFC East champs. This is important because of that.
There's it's such a different feel from you won the division, but it's because you beat the Jets and the Dolphins in the last 2 weeks of the season, and you won the tiebreaker
Right.
against Buffalo.
And you backed in.
Right.
Versus you took it.
Yeah.
You
against the team that is the reigning champs.
five times in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
And you went out there and you beat them twice in the same season and you took it. That's just from a morale standpoint. I don't know how that you can't see that is just wildly different.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Wildly
go.
different.
Yeah, plus just the situation of the first game, they were 4-0. They were, streaking. You beat them in their place on a night where they were pretty juiced up, national television, and now they're playing good again. They're, they have their holes, but they're surging right now. This is when Josh Allen knows it's his time to shine, and that's, those 2 wins, when you look at them even in context, they're impressive. If they're able to pull it off, this is everything you could ask for. A chance to do it against the team that has owned the division.
And
I agree.
And not to make excuses, but if you do win this game, you've stopped Josh Allen and his offense without Milton Williams. So you manned up and made got by without your best defensive player, and I think that means something too.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it just means a lot in terms of how
You don't think so? No.
about how they do
win the
it.
game. But everybody's missing players.
I know, but
I mean, they don't have it all.
and some overcome that, and some don't.
No, I know.
want to be one of those teams that overcome it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was trying to think back. Maybe
Someone's
you guys
gonna
can
win.
remember ever a time when during the Patriots dynasty runs, where they lost to Buffalo early in the season, and then they come back and they're like, okay, in December,
Right.
now is when we,
when they lost 31-0 to Buffalo in 03.
that's a good
that
was
reminder.
03.
But
they had the bookend, right?
Yeah,
Against Buffalo?
They got
They
rid
did.
of Lawyer Malloy. The team was.
I just think those are different situations because those were generally not good teams.
yeah.
And this is 2 good teams. Once in a while, the Patriots got upset. I think it happened 3 times in the 20 whatever years.
By Buffalo.
Ryan
yeah.
Fitzpatrick
That's what I'm
got one.
saying.
Yeah, I think he was like 26-3.
There weren't very
against
many
Buffalo.
times where Buffalo. One of the times that they had a chance was with Josh Allen on that Saturday afternoon game here
Right.
in Foxborough.
Yep.
The Bills made the playoffs that year. They were actually pretty good, and they had a chance to come in and win the game here, and they fell short. It was a good game though. It was kind of like when you look at that.
2019, right? You're talking
I
about?
think I think it was 19.
33-3
It was-
against Buffalo.
I think it was a 24-17 game. It might have been earlier than that. I don't remember exactly what the year was, but it was kind of like, oh, they didn't just go away.
Yeah.
Like you kind of expected the Patriots to roll in this game, and it was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a little back and forth, and you could kind of see Buffalo was getting better. But usually, if the Patriots, would you say 3 times? 3 times.
Buffalo.
Usually the Bills stunk.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, yeah, that was cute. You beat us.
Yeah, but
we'll
wasn't
smack
there-
you around the second time.
Wasn't there a stretch, before Josh Allen that we were beating them, but there was a stretch of games that were like either 1 point or overtime or something like that?
They had some issues at the end of Brady, beginning of McDermott with the Bills defense. The Bills defense has always given this passing system. I think a lot of it has to do with how much Buffalo disguises and how much the Patriots adjust their routes based off coverage. The Bills defenses had Brady had I don't know if we call them clunkers, but like Brady had some like non-Brady games, like not throwing for 350 and 5 touchdowns against Buffalo. He's had some struggles against the Bills. I don't know what the scores were, but
I don't think there were a ton of close games.
Just a
with the
tiny
Bills.
bit of breaking news. Josh Allen, AFC Player of the Week.
yeah, that makes sense.
So there you go.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked.
All the more-
Disrespect.
Why
didn't Drake get it?
Makes it that much better when we beat the reigning
On his
player
bye
of the week.
Well, I sure don't ever remember any of the games happening like Patriots getting upset by an AFC opponent in the early season and then having to like hold serve on the road. Like I don't remember that ever happening. I remember Buffalo getting some wins in Buffalo. I remember the Jets getting some wins in New York early in the season. But then it always came back to
Yeah,
the
'cause
Patriots
those
in
teams were
December
just
and
never good.
blew doors. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and,
now
that,
it's-
and, you know, there was a couple. You know, that little stretch there where the Jets were cute with Rex Ryan. You know, 09 to 11 when they went to a couple of conference championship games. They were formidable.
What about when
But not-
Rex
not
Ryan
very
was
many
with the
times.
Bills?
Bad.
So Rex Ryan beat the Patriots with the Bills, but it was with Jacoby Brissett playing quarterback.
16 zip.
it was in that Rex Ryan thing with the Bills did not go well.
Didn't work.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I think the one you might have been talking about, Paul, was December 21st, 2019, was a 24-17
That's
win
the game. Yep.
by the Patriots. The Patriots are 12-3. The Bills were 10-5 after that one.
Yeah, that was a rare time that they were both pretty good.
Yeah, and
Now,
Patriots-
it wasn't trying to, salvage a split. The Patriots won both games against Buffalo that year, but Buffalo, you could see, was getting better with this kid who looked like he was starting to figure things out.
So
John Brown, 53-yard
Smoke.
touchdown.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Remember
I don't
that.
want to digress too much, but I was on my drive, and I was thinking of Patriots through the dynasty, and I have a total blank.
I was
on-
thinking about Patriots through the dynasty.
Don't we
I have
all?
a total blank on 2005.
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened then? What happened in 2005?
So
They
Bruce
lost to the
Denver
Broncos.
and
Yeah,
Denver.
Brewski had the stroke, and then they had to replace their linebacker. So I think they lost.
So Vrabel
Willie was
became
still. Vrabel moved
middle
inside. Monty
linebacker.
Beisel,
Monty
Chad
Beisel and Chad
Brown
Brown just didn't work.
came in. I think Ty Law had left as well, so they had Asante. But I remember that their defense was just terrible. Remember
Did they
they
make
lost to the Chargers. Yeah, they beat.
They
Willie
beat
McGinnis got the
they
Jags.
Beat the
I think
Jets,
the,
I believe.
The
No,
Jets.
was it the Jags?
It might have been.
Did they
I
still
want to
have-
say the
was-
Jags, and that Willie McGinnis had a couple sacks and broke the sack record that year.
Was Deion Branch
think.
still on that team, or did he get
5,
traded?
yeah, he was down. That
So
was
that was
06
his last
that
year.
Deion
Still
Brand.
here in 05.
So that was
Yep.
his last year.
So they made the playoffs
And then they lost to
in 05?
Denver. They
Yeah,
lost.
they lost
in
at
Denver,
Denver.
Fred.
In Denver?
And yeah, that's why everybody's
That was the Benjamin
terrified of
Watson
Denver.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it was
It's
one
like
of
the
those.
forgotten season for me.
Yeah, I mean,
because it was Brady's first loss.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Of his career.
Yeah.
was a
And it was still a touchback.
I blanked it out.
Brewski came back, and that was, I remember being like, thank God. But you had gone from 04 where you had that, like Paul always talks about, the 6-for-4 linebackers. And I don't even know if what's his face, the other linebacker was still around too. I mean, Teddy J was probably gone by that point, I would guess. Roman Pfeiffer, I don't know, maybe. I mean, right around that area.
Yeah, they might have both been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
remember the turnover there.
I
with
don't
Chad Brown. Monty
remember
Beisel was like, I remember
those-
him with like target on him the whole season.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone
And
was
Chad
like,
Brown absolutely got folded in half
Yeah.
in Denver that year.
Yeah.
That was
The Ben Watson chase down pick six.
that
Yeah.
was a
Champ.
tough playoff game. That I mean,
They got outplayed in the game
Yeah.
largely.
sure did.
And I mean, you know how bad that was? Like, just it wasn't their year. Even Adam missed a field goal in that game, that divisional round game, and Adam never missed
Yeah.
when it counted.
Yeah.
You know,
It was a bad night.
All right. So I just, like I said, I need to ask Paul what happened in 2005.
Now, you got the whole panel.
I don't know. We were,
Gave you all kinds
Monty
of
Beisel.
detail.
I just remembered that. I mean, they hadn't lost a playoff game with Brady yet, so like my first memories are beginning of 2000 2001 time frame. So like I had never experienced like losing a playoff game before, really, as like a fan.
Turnovers were killer.
And I
man.
just remember being absolutely distraught after they lost to Denver that night.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Me too.
touchback
It's like
aside-
why I started blogging about the team. I think just that loss. Like,
Yeah.
honest to God.
touchback aside, like Brady throws the pick in the end zone. Of all people, Troy Brown, muffs a punt. And that led to another turnover. And like I said, Adam missed a field goal. It was just one of those nights. Like, this just ain't the Patriots year.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh,
Mike-
and
Mike
they were
Vra-
whooping it up in that press box, if you remember, Paul.
Mike
Can't
Vrabel.
remember what happened in the season, but you remember the disrespect from the out-of-town press corps.
You got that right.
That's vintage.
I mean, the
Fred.
game
I
was in
remember
Denver.
that.
That's a vintage.
Now,
oh, yeah,
well,
we
now
did
it's
that.
coming back.
I
to
know,
me.
but-
now it comes back to me. Yeah.
Vrabel had 108 combined tackles that year. I mean, clearly led the team. 73 solo tackles. Next closest, Ty Warren, 40.
Yeah.
He had
It
to
was-
play inside.
Yeah, it
that's
was
right.
Mike
right.
Vrabel
He
all
didn't
over the
like
place
it,
here.
but he did it.
And he did it well.
And he did it really well.
Yeah. All right. So what were we talking about before I divert?
Spread and
And all that
this
stuff.
game.
One
Yeah.
little thing
It's a big
about just housekeeping, whatever. The injuries are going to be interesting on both sides, and practice participation. The Bills got a bunch of guys banged up. The Patriots had a bunch of guys banged up before the bye, and then there's no injury reports during the bye. So Robert Spillane has something going on that we still have unidentified. So we'll find out later today what he's dealing with. But he didn't play as much against the Giants as he normally does. Then he was kind of limited, not at practice, not really participating the last couple of practices. And then, Tonga, Schooler. What do you do on the offensive line if Jared Wilson is healthy? Do you put him back in?
Yeah.
All these different types of things. And then Buffalo, it's Bernard and Spencer Brown. They're starting right tackle. Kincaid came back last week, but seems kind of banged up. Josh Palmer, one of their receivers. So there's both teams have some banged up guys that they, won't they on Sunday is important.
Yeah. Kincaid was like a give it a go guy, I think, last I've ever seen.
Yeah,
He's not healthy. He's
game-time
going to give it a
decision.
go. I mean, he played well, but
Yeah.
Knox was the big one.
And for those of you who are into the pop culture, Cardi B has declared herself a football bee.
Oh, what does that mean?
I won't use the crass word.
Oh, nice. All right.
And that she wants that Patriots smoke. So,
Really? Where was
see
this?
that.
On the social media?
oh
Yeah,
yeah, on her
yeah,
thing, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's all in on the Patriots.
I love it.
Michael writes in from Maine. Paul is 100% correct. Fred is off his rocker. There is not a single Patriots fan on this planet that is dreading the game against Buffalo.
Except for Mike.
Everybody
I understand
can't
you,
flipping
Mike.
wait for this game, and if we do lose, it's not the end of the world. The show will go on. So Fred, go grab your brunts and get out your snowblower and blow off some steam. Okay.
I have a small rant.
I'm not
I got a small
worried.
rant. I got a small rant. A little
Mike
bit.
has a rant.
A little bit of rant towards you. No, it's funny. I mean, I fully accept that. I fully accept, being a little worried about what does it mean. But I was laughing thinking about it because when we talk about Paul's shows, this is what it is. They live for that. They live for knowing all these things. We know all the talking points they're going to hit if they lose this Buffalo game. So it's on one hand, you make fun of those people, but at the same time, you need those people because those are the ones who are going to listen to Felger and Maz after the game and be like, I don't want to hear him tell us, yep, the schedule was soft and Josh Allen still owns you. Those are the things that are beat into your head. You know it, right?
Right.
I don't know how much that matters to the people that actually matter, like the coaches and the players.
Yeah. No, I'm talking.
It might matter a little bit
fans.
though,
Yeah.
because the soft schedule thing is a narrative.
Yeah.
And if you go out to Buffalo and you're kind of outclassed by the Bills on Sunday, then
Still your daddy.
it just kind of proves them right?
No,
Whereas
they could do that.
Yeah.
But I agree with everything you guys are saying, and I understand where Fred's coming from. I have a feeling that this is going to be what we're talking about on my show when I go in later. So I do get it, and you're right. I just would say, if you're a Patriots fan and you believe, do you believe in what you're seeing? Then what do you care? Why? This is the thing about Patriots fan I'll never get is why they care so much about the noise. And yes, Evan's right. This will be perfect fodder for Mike and Tony and everybody else that believes that they're not as good as the record is. Right?
Right.
But if you believe they are as good as the record is, you'll be disappointed that they lost for sure.
Yeah,
But maybe if you're
But your mind changes with more information.
But if you're what exactly? Ev.
What did you
If
say?
you're
Evan?
go ahead.
Your mind changes with more information.
Right.
If you're worried, that's what you're worried about.
Exactly.
You're not worried about losing the game because of what Felger and Maz are going to say. You're worried about not being as good as you think they are.
Right.
Or being told you're not. But Connor and Gansa says on the topic, if we lose, will people start to spiral? Weren't we all saying the hope is that we're playing meaningful football games in December? Newsflash, that's what this is. We got what we wished for. Absolutely. And he
Goalposts
says,
have
P.S.
moved.
Paul, you're the man.
Yeah, the goalposts have moved.
The goalpost moved.
Yeah. And that's we're sitting right now, and that's I think what is a little maybe scary is the word. It's just it's all right there for the taking. You win 4 games, you're going to win the division. There's a good chance maybe you get a bye, And so those thoughts in the preseason of it'd be great they win 8 games, 8, 9 games, that would be amazing. Now it's no, they're already at 11. So adjust accordingly. We've talked about the opportunity that could exist this year with the teams that are going to make the playoffs.
Can you imagine if they go 13-4? There will be people, and I think they will be right.
Yeah.
that will be disappointed.
Yeah.
But I think there's
Because if they lose twice, like you lose Sunday, like that. Listen, we all know Buffalo's good. You guys have said it. Buffalo's good. They could come in. The Patriots could play a really good game on Sunday and lose, because Buffalo just plays a little bit better. But if you lose twice, that means you lost to a team with a losing record in one of the last 3 games. People are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
If you go 13-4 and win the AFC East, people are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
I just think there's also a little bit of like 2021 PTSD of like
Yeah, sure.
they were 9-4
Same
in
thing,
2021, then they lose to Buffalo, then they
but
completely fall off.
to me, that's all about Mac Jones versus Drake May. And there is no comparison.
There was a huge
100%.
difference.
no
but I
comparison.
think that's a pattern, right? That you're just trying to avoid.
Right.
But I agree. I think like the difference is like big picture. I'm with Paul. Like I have no concerns about where they're headed. Big picture.
Me too.
But in terms of the 2025 season, losing to Buffalo on Sunday does change.
Yeah.
You get a little
I
bit
wanna
of
see how.
a warm seat.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, you're a little tight butt.
Let's flip this to the Buffalo thing. I was listening to my show yesterday because our good friend Greg was on. Greg Bedard was on, and at the end they give him, "Oh, it's all right, Greg. Give us 60 seconds on the game." I like the Patriots in this spot coming off the bye. I think should get some personnel back, and I just Buffalo's just not that good. And I just look at it and I'm like, okay, so Buffalo's 9-4 right now. And I'm not telling you that every game has looked great, but a lot of their games they've looked kind of like vintage Buffalo. I mean, like, Carolina's given everybody fits, to your point, and they beat them like 40-9 on the road, right? So let's just not make this Buffalo team out to be, terrible underachievers, right? So they're 9-4. The game that they played in Week 5 in Buffalo, let's just say, for argument's sake, you can't do this. It's a hypothetical. But let's just say the game unfolded exactly the same way. And that play that Drake made on the last drive when he almost got sacked, let's say he got strip sacked and Buffalo wins 23-20.
Yeah.
So now Buffalo, instead of being 9-4, is 10-3. And the Patriots, instead of being 11-2, is 10-3.
Okay.
Is Buffalo now good? Because they made one play that they didn't make in that game? Does that make Buffalo a good team now?
Buffalo is good.
Like,
But
do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference between the teams right now.
Right.
Is Drake made an unbelievable play on the last drive to set up a field goal, and they won the game. That's the difference between Buffalo being good or bad.
And I can pretty much
I'm
guarantee.
sorry, I can't buy that.
I can pretty much guarantee that this game will come down to a few plays.
No.
And if it does and the Patriots don't win it, I'm not going to be shook as a Patriots fan. To Evan's point, if Josh Allen does what he did in 21 and they don't make him punt and the game's not overly competitive, that might change my opinion of the 25 Patriots, not of Drake May and what's going on with Mike Vrabel and going forward. But the 25 outlook might change.
Yeah.
This is the worst Buffalo team that they will face in quite some time.
I agree.
This is not.
They're vulnerable.
This is not as good as they've been, especially defensively. Offensively, they're still awesome.
The numbers are like better than the defense is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I keep reading about their pass defense is ranked X or whatever, and it's just like I watch them every week. And it doesn't ever look like they could stop anybody.
Well, this is why things like DVOA help, because they adjust for these types of things. They're 17th in pass DVOA. They're 22nd. This is the worst by DVOA. I was actually talking to Aaron about this, Aaron Schatz. This is the worst Bills defense of the McDermott era. That's 9 seasons. Like we're going back to 2017. So they're offensively, they're top 5 in everything. They're top 5 in points. They're top 5 in PA, DVOA, explosive play rate. Like they're a great offense, and he's great. Allen's great. Defensively, this isn't as good as they've been, and I still don't think even though their offense is producing, I think that's a lot because they have the MVP playing quarterback, and I don't think their weapons are as good as they have been.
No, and they have been particularly hit with the injuries on defense.
Yeah.
And some of the moves that they made, like who's the guy from the Rams? I can never pronounce his name. That he came and he played one great game against Kansas City and blew out his Achilles. That Height guy, Height.
Hoeccht.
How do you pronounce his name?
Hecht.
Okay,
Yeah.
he was really good in that game, and he blew out his Achilles.
He was really good for the Rams last year.
Yeah, like they were that was a big move that they made in the offseason. He was suspended when they got him, and then he comes back and plays really well. He's out. Milano is kind of always hurt. So
Yeah.
I'm not, but he's been in and
Ed
out of the
Oliver.
lineup.
Ed
Ed Oliver, excellent interior defensive lineman. He's been out for a while now.
Hairston's their first round pick or early second. I forget where exactly they picked him, but the corner.
And when he came back, he made an immediate impact for them.
Yeah.
He's missed some time.
Bernard's
Terrell
hurt.
Bernard is a really active. He's kind of like a Robert Spillane type linebacker, like a smaller, athletic guy, but he makes a lot of plays for them. He's been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this has been a really good, specifically really good pass defense in Buffalo for like this whole run for the Bills, and they're not as good there, and they've had a lot of trouble outside of Christian Benford. Like they haven't really found the right mix at safety.
Still playing Trey White too.
Yeah.
who's not what he once was.
Right.
Real quick, did you guys happen to see a keep to leave at all yesterday online? I'm not saying that the content, like what he said, I necessarily agree with, but he was talking about the Texans and, just in that drawl that he's got. And he's like, man, Texans, they're gonna let the Foxborough and get popped. Like, he's just talking like John McDaniel's seen it all. They're going to go, that defense going to get them all the way to Foxborough, then they get them bounced.
might be right.
It was more about, not the context of what he said, but just more the way he says it is just hilarious. to me.
Shouldn't that be what happens? Like the 7th seed, if they go to Foxborough as the 2 seed, shouldn't they get popped?
But they're playing better now than the beginning of the season. So I don't know. I have a lot of respect for what Texans are doing.
I don't think the Texans are going to be I think the Texans are going to win that division.
It's very possible.
And I think that
that could happen.
I think the Texans are going to win the division. The Bills will be the 5 seed. Like everybody's worried right now because the Bills or the Texans could be the 7 seed playing the 2 Patriots here. But I think ultimately it'll be like Jacksonville or
We're gonna be the
Indy
number 1
or
seed.
whatever.
Sorry, Fred, to cut you off. Just one last thing. It was a nice reminder that Josh McDaniels has seen it all. And so, these good defenses that we talk about, sure, I respect these defenses, but at the same time, you've got a guy that has faced every kind of defense there is. And whether or not they execute, that's a different thing. But I feel like no matter who they play, Josh McDaniels will have a good plan.
Dan writes in, is it fair to say if we win this game, we can categorize it as an official we've arrived game? Well, I think it depends on what you want the destination to be.
I mean, I would say the destination is, are you going to be a consistent year in and year out contender for the Super Bowl? And I don't know if I'd go that far yet, but man, winning the division title
it's not an
is a
arrived
great, but you need to see some consistency to it. There have been flash in the pan teams like, did Washington arrive last year or have they not arrived? Like, I mean, I still think they're, a good team when they're healthy, but, it's just to do what the Patriots did in the 2000s and 2010s of consistently every year. I mean, nobody does that. If you could get on a 5-year run where you're consistently, that's great. That's something to
if
shoot
we
for.
win the game, for me, we continue to be on the road to arriving.
Yeah.
I don't.
Washington didn't win their division.
Right. For this year, you've arrived. I don't know.
We've already arrived
I don't
for this
know.
year.
I don't know what it says going forward.
Right.
But I like you guys have said. I mean, I don't know how you cannot be optimistic about the
Yeah,
direction.
I already believe we've
Right.
arrived.
Just get the title.
For this
I
year.
know you
For
guys
this
say,
year.
oh, it's kind of like going to happen for sure. I need to see it. Like that needs to be, get to the playoffs. We'll see what happens. But like just to come out of this season with a division title, I think that's just a great thing to fall back on.
I
no
just
matter
can't
what,
imagine how I would try to console you if something happens and disaster strikes and they somehow find a way to lose 3 of their last 4. And
Oh, I
don't win
know,
the
but
division.
talk
don't
me
know
off
what I would
the top.
do.
Let me play Wimpy Deuce right now. Like lose to Lamar Jackson and Tua, who you've only beaten once. Like I mean, it's not crazy to think that they could possibly lose 3 tight
I
games.
look
They're
at-
lucky that the Baltimore game doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I look at Baltimore right now. I say something crazy has to happen for you to lose that game.
all right.
But
The way- the
Baltimore
way they
also,
look-
the game
Yeah.
itself doesn't actually really matter. Like if they lose to the Bills on Sunday, the only games that matter are the 2 division games at the end of the year. All you got to do is beat the Jets and the Dolphins, and you win the division, even if you lose to Baltimore. So
It's true.
like I'm with you with Dolphins though, because the Dolphins are frisky. They're 6-7. They're in it.
Yeah.
If that week
Let's see what it looks like after this week.
if week 18 is a meaningful game for both teams and the Dolphins have something to play for in that game,
Right. And
that becomes a big spot.
yeah, and you'd have to lose 2 divisional games at home, which is, not. It's easy to do. I mean, it's,
shouldn't
those
do,
are tough
but
games.
yeah,
I mean,
I
they're
just-
always
yeah.
battles.
You just don't want it to be a big spot against Miami.
No,
You
you've seen
just
good.
don't.
You've seen good Patriots teams. I mean, 2019,
Yeah,
like
right.
opportunity and lay a turd in the last game. I mean, it's. I don't know. I mean, I think
practice
you win
on
that
first
one
one.
game over Tua, and but it's like a reminder. Like that's the only time you've beaten them. I don't know. We'll see what that team looks like. I don't know.
news.
I feel like the Jets. I'm not
dark
worried. I feel
place.
like about the Jets the way you feel the Ravens. Like there's no way, but
Well, if
I still get PTSD just looking at the Ravens uniform.
I
Like
would
that to me, I'm
actually
just
give
like
the-
they're good.
Like,
the
you're
Jets
probably-
with like
doesn't
Brady
matter.
playing,
I can
like, they
lose to the Ravens. It's
I know,
okay.
I know,
with
but
the
it's all
Jets.
part of the thing, though. It's like you lose one, then you lose a game. Well, it didn't matter. Well, you lost 2 in a row now. You got to come
Right,
back
like they
and
lost a
back
couple
on
of
the
tough
road.
games in 21 to like Indianapolis and Buffalo, and you're like, oh, that's okay. They were good
Yeah.
team. And then you lost the game you didn't expect to lose.
Yeah.
It
you
also
know,
it
after
also
that.
hurts that the Patriots' last 4 games are all in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bills are their toughest game other than the Patriots is the Eagles, but it's an NFC game. So that's not going to be
That
part
may
of
not
the
be
tie.
so tough anymore.
And that's not part of the tiebreaker. So it goes head to head, then it will go division record, and then I believe it goes conference record.
I actually think that
For the division, I think that's the order.
does it go conference before common?
Those
Yeah,
two are.
okay.
I don't know which way those two
I
go.
think common comes first, but I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Let's see what you have to say. Mark's in Connecticut. What's up, Mark?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to be at the game this weekend, and I just
Common
want to
first.
see us dominate this Buffalo Bills. The question that I have is Milton Williams. Do we know what his rehab process is right now? Like, how's he looking? And is he eligible to return for the Baltimore game?
No, Miami. He walked through the locker room on Monday, looked normal, nothing on his leg or anything like that. I mean, he's just walking. So, I mean, high ankle sprain, I don't think you'd really even notice anything really anyway. But for what it's worth, he's in there. He looked like he's rehabbing.
Yeah, they said I think
So
when
is he eligible?
Miami.
week 17.
Or,
Oh,
No,
not
Jets.
no, sorry,
Baltimore.
Jets. Second
Jets for
one.
Oh,
Mills and
sorry.
Williams.
He's second
Yeah.
Miami for Will
for Campbell is Miami.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Love you guys.
Okay, thanks,
Love you
Mark.
too.
Yeah. Do you know what I also like when you go in the locker room and people are like, is he limp? Like you have to analyze his limp.
Evan and I did that the other day. We were like,
And I-
watch everybody's.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
And I just have decided that like I'm not a doctor. Like I don't like all these guys. First of all, they're all football players, so they all limp. Like all of them have a little bit
Dietrich
of
Wise,
like a weird gait, especially the veteran guys because they've been playing for so long. So like I'm not gonna like micro analyze like his gait. Like how is he limping? Is he? I don't know.
I did it with Will
Like,
Campbell when I saw him in the locker room. So I'm like, he looks fine. Get him
Yeah.
out there.
The one guy I will say that looked fine was Jared Wilson.
Yeah.
Jared Wilson, as soon as we saw him after the injury scare in Cincinnati, he looked fine.
Yeah.
The other two, I don't know.
But let's talk. Can we talk about that for a second? It's an interesting thing to me of a rookie left guard who, clearly was having a good season, but Ben Brown a little bit more experienced. You've got Vidarian Lowe. Do you put any consideration to that?
Keeping
Mix
Ben
in
Brown out
between.
there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just like he's a little more. I'm not sure.
It's a question to me of like, is it Jared Wilson at 85% versus Ben Brown at 100, or are they both fully healthy? Because I might keep Ben Brown in there if Jared Wilson's less than 100%.
Is there anything to be said though for Lowe being out there? I don't know. I'm just saying like Ben Brown. A little bit more experience. Like, is there any kind of connective tissue that you would rather have a little bit more experienced guy between the center and the tackle? I don't know. I'm just
I don't know,
speculating
because
what goes into that decision.
They didn't. If Brown and Lowe were like the backups on that side all summer, and they had all these
Yeah.
reps in the book, but they didn't because Vidarian Lowe was hurt for a lot of training camp.
Right.
So I remember talking to Vidarian Lowe last week or the week before, and he was like, up until this week, we really haven't practiced together.
Yeah.
So like I don't think there's any real
Yeah.
like chemistry
Yeah, right.
advantage necessarily. I just look at it more. I don't know if Jared Wilson is at that point where like it's not like it's Quentin Nelson where it's like, okay, at 85%, we're putting Quentin
And
Nelson
even to
back.
your experience point, Brown doesn't have much experience playing guard.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
Yeah.
I think it's
so
an interesting
it'd
question
be-
though.
Yeah, I just
I-
wonder how much goes into it. I mean, you're right. If Wilson's 100%, he probably goes.
I
back in,
mean, there's an argument to be made that if they think that Ben Brown's better, maybe they wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that you could.
Have two healthy guys for the
Yeah,
playoffs.
you could make an argument for that. But I think
Ted-
Evan's probably right about the status for Wilson will determine it.
Ted in Las Vegas, he says on December 3rd, prior to the Buffalo-Cincinnati game, the Patriots were 1.5-point favorites
Correct.
versus Buffalo this weekend. After the Buffalo-Cincinnati game, the line switched to Buffalo as a 1.5-point favorite. According to Google AI, quote, the initial odds saw money pour in on the Bills, flipping the line to favor Buffalo.
Yeah, I saw. I definitely last week saw that the future line had the Patriots favored, and I was very surprised that the Patriots didn't play and the Bills kind of struggled. And survived. Ev.
Well, so the future line was before the Bengals game.
Yeah,
so that
it
would
was
have been
like just
coming
before
off
before the Bengals game.
So that was coming off the Steelers game for the.
Right, but this is like, what do you say, December 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like pretty recent, like within a week.
Yeah.
Right. I just was wondering which games the future line was. Because like if that line comes out after like the Houston game for Buffalo, then I could understand thinking that Buffalo is in trouble. I mean, they ran the ball really well against
But
Pittsburgh.
it's all about the analytics that they do. And then it moves based on the money. And I don't think that might be right, what he said. I don't think there's significant money coming in on a game to move a line like 2 weeks ahead of time. Like, I don't think there's significant line movement based on that. I think it's, weirdly to me, it's based on the Bills' performance against
wasn't 2
Cincinnati.
weeks. He said after the Cincinnati game, the money poured in and moved.
But my guess
the first line after the Cincinnati game had the Patriots underdogs.
Right.
I don't think there's significant money coming in on the Bills, like in the immediate aftermath of the Bengals game.
That's what he said.
No,
That's
I
what
know.
Google AI said.
But I could see how they
Now we're all in agreement.
after the Texans Steelers game where the Bills dominated the Steelers, but it wasn't a flashy win.
Yeah.
They ran the ball 45 times.
But you could say, well, the defense shut them down. The running game, they kept the ball away. Yeah, but that didn't happen in the Cincinnati game. The Cincinnati game was survival.
But the Cincinnati game, though, I think what I'm getting at is like I could see the line moving because Allen played like a near perfect game against the Bengals.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just awesome. So like, if you watch that game and you see Josh Allen put up like basically a perfect game against the Bengals, you might think to yourself, all right, maybe we need to give the Bills some more respect. I don't know about the money side of it. That's what I would do. How I would react to it.
William's in Montreal. Hey, William.
Hi. Last time I called, we were playing Buffalo, and I asked if Drake May goes into Buffalo and outduels Josh Allen, will he be considered MVP? Paul, you proceeded to say no, he won't. It's too early into the season, and nobody's looking at a 2-2 team and their quarterback as MVP frontrunner. Now that Josh Allen is coming to Gillette Stadium, and like how Fred likes to say, we got our guy, and then he outplays Allen again. Is he the clear MVP frontrunner? Thank you.
And William, are there a lot of Bills fans in Montreal?
I mean, I have a few people I know that like Buffalo. Definitely not the closest people I'm with, but I try avoiding those people because their friends are crazy.
Get thrown to a table.
The majority of them like Buffalo. There's a few Patriots fans here in Montreal. There's 49ers fans. There's a bunch of fans everywhere.
Okay. I'm just curious because I think the Bills like to fashion themselves as the team of Montreal and Toronto.
Definitely Toronto. Well, Toronto's right across the.
Yeah. I would say that and I totally remember saying, no, that's not going to happen, one game. But I would say that if Drake May didn't do what he did in every other game, he wouldn't be an MVP candidate based on one game in prime time. Now, he absolutely got on the radar that night, and the Patriots got on the radar that night with their performance. But Drake May then did it every week for the next 9 weeks or whatever it was after that, too. So that's why he's an MVP candidate. And if he does it again Sunday, I need to know what Matthew Stafford does because I don't really look at Josh Allen. I know Josh is probably creeping up. Is he third now? Fourth?
He's fourth. Yeah.
Okay, so I know he's entering the picture, but to me, this is a two-horse race. It's May and it's Stafford.
The lines would agree with you. Minus 180 for Stafford, minus 210 for May. And everybody else is, in the
Does Stafford have another game like he did Sunday against the Cardinals where he's sort of on the sideline for the fourth quarter because he decimated Arizona so much? Or is it like the week before that in Carolina where for the first time in like 10 weeks, he turned the ball over a couple of times.
Yeah.
I would say that these next 2 weeks, though,
Yep.
Buffalo and Baltimore in prime time.
Yep.
If Drake May is 2-0 and has two really good games against Allen and Lamar, it's going to be hard to not see him as the MVP.
Yeah.
Like that.
I just think it's going to be up to what Stafford does too. I think that's part of it. I don't think that May can just win.
I just
by
want
playing well.
I'm big on the MVP thing. I know I probably care about it too much. I just I hope the voters are consistent with it. I do.
Yeah.
Because if you voted for Josh Allen last year over Lamar, then you should be voting for Drake May over Matthew Stafford. The reason why Josh Allen won it last year is because everybody said he had a worse supporting cast than Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you give Drake May, Puka Nacua, and Devontae Adams, just like Stafford, you don't know.
So it is a good argument. It's a really good argument because you look at the way Josh Allen won the games too, had to have factored in. Because he won games last year down the stretch the way he did against Cincinnati. And as great as May has been, the Patriots have been so good that they haven't had to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not Drake May's fault that he hasn't had to have fourth quarter comebacks because they have the lead all the time.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I think in the voters' eyes, sometimes that stuff is what stands out.
Sure.
Like, even Caleb Williams has got like 5 come from behind wins this year. No one would say Caleb Williams has played better than Drake May.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Tony's in Canada. What's up, Tony?
Hey, guys. Yeah, well, interested about that game this weekend. That's going to be really exciting.
You sound
so
excited.
many things I'd like to say, but regarding May, I think we really lucked out of the 3 quarterbacks that came out that year. We got the best one, not just because of his talent, but because of his work ethic and his personality. And if you listen to Josh talk about him, he stresses that, how smart he is, how quick he picks up, his personality. But here's what I called in about. Do you think maybe not enough is being said about the Patriots' red zone issues in terms of being able to get into the red zone, score touchdowns rather than field goals?
That's certainly being talked about.
Going to be.
Yeah.
I know that's going to have a critical decision in terms of our outcome per game. So, wondering if you guys think, how are we going to change things up? I heard Bart and Alex, they talked about possibly running kind of like plays, running May more, trying to run May into the end zone, or at least making a threat. Do you guys think that'll happen? What do you guys see?
Well, listen, I mean, your original thing is it being talked about enough? I mean, even Vrabel mentioned it, that's something that they're going to be working on during the bye. The bye. I mean, they know it's a problem.
That's all I've thought about for 2 weeks.
Yeah. But like
fixing the red zone.
Establishing May as a threat down there can't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, they're 24th in the league right now in red zone offense. They're down near the bottom of the league in goal to go as well. You're not going to win in the playoffs like that now. I think there's 2 ways you can look at it. One would be to expand the playbook down there, with May's legs, or whether it's RPO, zone read, whatever, or moving the pocket, just incorporating his legs somehow. The other way, which might be the way they end up having to go, is, well, if you can't score in the red zone, just to start taking shots from right outside the red zone. Like once you get to the 25, just to have him throw vertically into the end zone from outside the red zone. So those high red zone shot plays might be another way that they can kind of get around that. But they don't have the personnel right now on the offensive line to like move people on the goal line. It's just they just haven't been able to run the football down there.
Do you have any hope that Ramondre Stevenson with the bye week just has a little bit more juice? Like I felt last couple games when he came back, I just feel like
I think it's all about the line.
Hasn't really.
And this is one of these ridiculous things that I throw out there that I have no information on. I feel like the red zone problem kind of started when he got hurt. I don't remember earlier in the year them having as many problems running in.
I think it started when he fumbled. When he started having the fumble issues in the low red zone.
It could be. It could be. But I do think that he's an important part of that. They need him. They need him to be the battering ram that he has always been.
When you're running the ball on the 1 yard line, like you can run through somebody. and score.
You think that maybe he's too tentative?
I just
trying not to
that.
do
Like
that?
I understand that it would be ideal to block it up and get a nice clean shot at it, but
Mostly that's not how it works. To your point,
right, and so hopefully they can put Tonga back there, and they put Ramondre behind Tonga, and you just ram it into the end zone, and that shouldn't be this hard.
I know.
It really shouldn't.
Well, I still just remember the Ramondre of week 1 last year. Breaking tackles left and right in the backfield. I mean, out of necessity, but we talked to him in the locker room a couple weeks ago.
Changes your style if you're worried about fumbling.
That point that Evan made about the fumbles is probably accurate. That's maybe why because you don't get a lot. I mean, it happens once in a while where it just opens up in the goal line and the guy waltzes in. That doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Usually you got to fight through a linebacker in the gap or something. And
I mean, you
there's
saying
only
that,
so many
Paul,
guys you can block.
It makes me wonder. I brought this topic up thinking about his toe and just health, but maybe it's even a mental thing where it's like
I think the
we're 11 and
fumbling-
2. The
You guys
fumble's
might be right.
behind
It might
you.
be more about that.
But I was going to say we talked to him in the locker room a couple weeks ago, and it just when he first came back, and it seemed to me like he's still really fighting through something. It's not like I'm healthy now, I'm back. It feels like this is going to be a process to get over this toe thing, whatever it was. So maybe it's mental though.
That's why the made option plays could help because when you're down by the goal line, you don't have to put a safety in the deep part of the field because there is no deep part of the field. So now that safety's in the box near the line of scrimmage. So now you can't, to Paul's point, you can't block them all. And so if you have Drake, then you're able to use him to hold the backside, and that occupies a defender, or maybe even 2 defenders, depending on how you design it. So that way you're actually going to leave those guys purposely unblocked, and you're going to hope that they react to the quarterback, and then you can get the numbers to where you're actually trying to run the football. So, in theory, that's why those plays work so well in short yardage and low red zone opportunities, is because you're evening up the numbers. Now you're playing 11 on 11 instead of 10 on 11 if you're the offense.
Jordan is in Canada.
What's up, Jordan? Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan or Jordan?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Jordan.
Hi, guys. As a just generally anxious person and anxious Patriots fan, I want so badly to just jump on the Drake May thing and be like, yes, he saved us, he's our guy, And I'm starting to become convinced. But something that Evan said yesterday kind of made me question, or it made me think something. Because Evan, yesterday you said something along the lines of the Patriots will likely not lose in a fashion of a defensive rock fight. You can more likely see them losing in a shootout, a battle to the end. And I was just wondering why you guys think that, because honestly, the offense hasn't scored over 20-something points all season. So why do you think that we have a better shot in winning a game 45-43? I don't know. I just don't see it. I want to. That's exciting. But, I don't know. I'm just not convinced. I want to be convinced. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think
question, Jordan.
Flip-flopped it. I think
Thanks,
that
Jordan.
they're better off winning a game, a lower scoring game.
So you think there's more chance they win a rock fight than a shootout?
Correct. I haven't seen them win a shootout.
They haven't really had to, right?
Right.
I mean,
So that's
valid.
And that
But-
would be my argument is we talk about that they haven't scored that many points, offensive points. Well, the most points they've allowed is what? 27?
Yeah,
And that was once with a kick with a punt return. It was 23 otherwise.
It's under 23 during the entire winning streak. They haven't given up more than 23 in 10 straight.
Right. Well, I mean, the only time they gave up 23 in any game was the Miami game that they gave up the punt return for a touchdown,
I guess that
which was really only 20.
That one, I guess it was a mini shootout. I don't know if that was a full-fledged shootout.
And I would,
shootout.
subtract the 7 for both because
Right.
the Patriots then in turn returned the kick off of the punt return for a touchdown. But to Jordan's point, they haven't really been in those shootouts, and maybe you don't know if they can win one. I mean, I don't know how I would feel relying on the defense to win the game. I think the defense has not been put in a ton of really bad spots. When they have, they've come through every time. I've chronicled Miami, Cincinnati, New Orleans. When they've had to stop the other team at the end of the game, they have. But I don't know if you want to be in that situation.
I think I more look at it just from the script of the game, like how the game flow goes. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily relying on the defense, but maybe it's a shortened game where each team only has like 8 possessions. And like, I just feel like the Patriots, I more look at them as an efficient offense, not necessarily a volume offense. Like, they're very, very efficient in the plays that they run, but I haven't seen them, I haven't seen Drake May go against Josh Allen and win 45-40. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying you haven't seen it.
Right.
So I would rather, all year long they've been playing games that are like, in that 23 point range, right?
They haven't
23-20
Jordan's
Buffalo.
Right.
Like,
they haven't really lit the scoreboard up, even though their offense has been really good.
I'm just thinking of the Bengals-Bills game last weekend where, it's all of a sudden Joe Burrow is taking the field and he needs to go score. Those kind of situations you haven't really seen them in. And that's maybe one of the things I'm wondering most about this game. Is this game going to be a game that's a little off script from what we've seen? Because I mean, maybe this is, I don't know, this is off the top of my head, but I would say generally, like, the games have all kind of felt the same. Like, there's maybe some little lulls, but generally they kind of just keep pulling away. And then in the second half, they're able to ice it out. And, the other team never really makes that late push where you're like, okay, Drake, there's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Josh Allen just led his team down the field. Now it's your turn to go do it. And to me, that's the perfect, like, MVP showcase. It's just that could line up to be a perfect feather in Drake May's cap.
And I know you want to go to the emails, Freddie. I'll give you one more thing that I would like about the Patriots' chances in one of those rock fight kind of games is I think Vrabel and Stretch have demonstrated a really good grasp of game situations. You asked me yesterday, any clock management, any that kind, any ref bashing. Well, I left out an enormous one from one of the guys that I have the most respect for, and Andy Reid. Going for a fourth down, in a 10-10 game at that time was certainly risky. Now, I understand probably more than most. Like, everybody says, so people that don't know, it was tie game, fourth quarter. I think they're on their own 31. They went for a fourth and a long one, and I think Rashee Rice dropped a pass, and obviously kind of just handed Houston the go-ahead points. Everybody said that was dumb. You should have punted. Your defense was playing really well. I would kind of counter. Now, I would have punted. Full disclosure, I absolutely would have punted. But if the reason I would have punted was because my defense was playing really well, shouldn't I expect the defense to continue to play really well and come up with a stop and make him kick a field goal?
Well, you're making it a little bit tougher.
No, but you let him go 6 plays, 31 yards, touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, if you gave up a field goal there, my defense continued to play well.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was showing confidence in his defense is my point.
Oh, yes.
You just made the nerd argument. That's the nerd argument right there.
Yeah, but they don't ever. People don't ever look at it that way.
If you rely on, if you're saying,
I don't really like myself right now.
If you're saying that your defense is the strength, then shouldn't you trust your defense to hold them?
Either way, you're trusting your defense.
But there's 10 minutes left.
If I don't get it, my defense is going to come through for me.
But there's 10 minminutes left. I'm okay being down 3.
Right.
I'll give them, because
he did it, but he didn't know he did it, and I like that.
No, I
backed into it.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Stop. But the thing that really stood out to me was it's not like this whole thing about the analytics that never, like, they don't take the game situation. That's why I would have punted, because I don't need to get the yard. The yard, like, to me, is not like going to translate to points. Like, let's just say they got it. It's a rock fight. That doesn't mean you're imminently going to score now. You might ultimately end up having to punt anyway, so just punt. Play it safe.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in a situation where, and Evan will have the numbers, I don't know what it is, like fourth and 1, you probably have like an 80+% chance of converting that.
Very high. Like, I don't know exactly what it is for 2025,
but don't put
it's usually
yourself in
around
a situation
90%.
where you have the one of the 10% is going to cost you a game.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't do
The
that.
analytics don't take in
game situations, not part of the equation.
Kirkstreet mentioned it in the last game.
Time and score is
He
not
said
really a big part of those analytics.
It's a huge
also
part of it.
like, let's just say what key defensive players hurt
Your guy disagrees.
in this
Bart.
particular game, and that changes
He says they
your.
don't take time
you
and
know,
score into
I know, which
consideration.
is not true.
I'm listening to you, Fred.
That's okay.
Well, let me ask you a question. Going into this game, for the Patriots' perspective, would you go in with an aggressive attitude? Would you be saying to your team, we need to be aggressive tonight? We need to, if we have a 4th and 2 or, inside the 20 and we're going to need touchdowns to beat this guy?
Going in? Yes, I would have that. But it could, this is why I would have punted.
Game declares, of course.
Because it's 10-10 in the fourth quarter in a freezing cold night where the offenses are not really doing a whole lot.
No.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff that the math won't necessarily take into account, is like what kind of game is unfolding in front of us, what are the conditions, who's hurt, like all those different types of things. But down and distance and time left in the game that's what goes into the computer. Like the computer, you put in the computer, it's 4th and 1, it's 10-10, there's 8 minutes left. Should I go for it or should I not go for it?
Yeah, but there are other factors in this
I just
game.
said that.
I know.
But what I'm saying,
it doesn't. It's not.
No.
All these analytics do is say what happened in the past. And that's all it does.
And that's how I understand it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'm not telling you that I'm right because I do not do the nerd stuff. But I think that the percentages when you're watching a game and they put up ESPN says go, they're not doing that. They're putting in it's a 4th and 2. These are the percentages of 4th and 2s that have been converted.
That's not how our guys Stretch is not doing it that way.
I hope not.
They put into the computer, it's 4th and 2, it's 10-10, there's 9 minutes left in the game. Now, it doesn't put in that it's the Bills without Ed Oliver and without, it doesn't have all those factors. Maybe they have a way to do that.
Yes, it does.
They're smart.
It better.
But I'm just telling you what it does. Okay. And then, and that it does, that's
I'll take his word for it.
That's how it goes. Well, I don't have our calculator, but I have a calculator that's public. That this is you put the field position, you put the time and score, you put the down and distance, and it spits out whether or not you should go for it or not.
And you better also be putting in how has our defense been performing this game.
So
what are the other factors?
That to me is why the Patriots system works so well, or has worked, is because I think Stretch and the guys up top are doing the computers.
And that's the point that I started with. I feel like Vrabel and Stretch have demonstrated a good grasp of game situation.
Because I think Vrabel is what Fred is saying, and he puts that thought into it. Stretch puts the nerd math into it, and they come in the middle and they say, this is what we're going to do. Now, most of their decisions do go by the numbers, just in terms of being lockstep with the numbers. But I think the bigger thing in terms of the analytics with all these game situation type of things, it does also account for what is your win percentage if you fail and what is your win percentage if you succeed. And it takes into account the fact that you could fail. Now, your win percentage when you fail might be only 1 percentage point less than if you fail, if you punt, right? So that is why that comes into this as well. Like if we kick a field goal here, we have a 76% chance of winning. But if we fail this 4th down, we have a 75% chance of winning. So for the 1 percentage point difference, we're going to go.
Yeah, I just like it when the people making the decisions have either played the game or coached the game. That makes me feel better.
But don't you,
I think
feel confident if Paul was
both.
doing it? I think I'd feel pretty confident if you were doing it. I think you're pretty aware of these things.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I would choke like a dog if I was doing it for real, as opposed to making fun of Scott Hansen on Red Zone.
I think it's really cool how the Patriots do it, because they have the math, they have the algorithms,
and then they make a decision.
And then Vrabel is able to have a great feel of what's the situation, how are we feeling, who are we playing, who's hurt, who's not hurt, what play are we going to call?
Do we have a play we love? Right.
They kicked the field goal on the goal line in Buffalo before the half, make it 6-3. Then they had the same exact situation later on in the season, and they went for it on 4th down and scored a touchdown before the half in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and
exact same situation.
I guarantee you, and I know it's impossible to prove something that will never happen or hasn't happened, but if for the next 5 years or every team just went strictly by the analytics, in 10 years the analytics would change.
Maybe.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just want I think that there's a happy median of it, and I think the Patriots have struck that exact middle of where, and I think that's why
it has to be that way. It's just common sense. You have to look at your situation in that particular game. Fine, look at history, but today is today. And Milton Williams just went out, and he's gone for the game. And that affects my decision-making. That didn't affect the analytics.
Yeah, that's why I like the way Mike and Stretch have done it so far.
Right.
Hopefully they'll continue. Because they do, I think, adjust based on what's actually happening that day as opposed to all of the data that they bring to the game.
Right.
Yeah, I have to go to Vrabel, but I just...
You don't have to.
What's this say?
Pete Alonso signing with the Orioles.
Oh, great. Cool. Exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I just think that I wish... It's different than like debating like should they have gone, should they not have, or like the down 9 go for 2 thing. Like you can have your own opinions on that. I just wish there was a better like what I just broke down of what you actually put into the model and what it actually spits out. Like I don't think that there's a great grasp in the actual like national NFL zeitgeist of like how these analytics models work. Because what Paul said, I understand. I think Paul is in the majority that think that it's just in any blanket 4th and 2 situation, what's the math say? And there is more like factors that get plugged into the computer than
I'm just telling you, when they put the numbers up on ESPN, they're not factoring in time and score. They're just saying this is the percentage of making it.
I would like to know what they're doing then, because
the teams obviously. I agree with you. I was surprised to hear your boy Alex say that they don't do that because I was always under the impression that they do.
Even putting time and score in isn't enough, in my opinion.
What else would you like them to put in? I'm curious.
Like, how has my defense been playing this game?
Well, you can't. How do you quantify that? Like,
exactly.
No, but
you just know.
But how my defense is playing this game, I could make an argument to do either one. I just sort of mapped it out. I could make a strong argument to defend Andy Reid's decision based on how his defense was playing.
In that particular case, right. Yeah, okay.
But everybody else said the opposite. Yeah. Because the way the defense was playing, I punt the ball.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just think I just wish that when we talk about these things, there was a little bit more education on the part of the people doing the talking to explain exactly how the teams are using it, because it has such a negative like stigma right now of like analytics, and yet this is what's driving 99.9% of the decisions in the NFL.
Analytics were created to give nerds a reason to be involved. They grew up not being able to be involved in sports, and they've created a way, and I give them credit, they're very creative, to be now involved in sports.
What is wrong
where
with you?
they grew up not having a role in sports. They were pushed to the side.
I mean, like, so
they were marginalized, and now they become right in the middle of it because they've creatively figured out a way to become involved in sports. All credit goes to them.
Well, we just...
Fred, that was a felony attack on words.
the little sniff at the end.
I'd like to report a murder.
So, Ev, before you go, real quick.
Yes.
Oh.
You'd have to do a lot to convince me that Dan Campbell was punching in time and score in the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago when he was just going for every fourth down with a 17-point lead.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that their nerds do. I don't know what Dan Campbell goes by. That's Dan Campbell question. But again, it's not so much about like, I just wish that we educated people better on, because I'm telling you that all 32 teams now have a nerd in the coach's booth that's telling them what the math is telling them. So like, this is what's driving the decisions. So instead of doing the Fred and finger wagging at it, like, let's just try to explain
and then sniffing.
Let's just try to explain it to people. You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
But let's at least get the right messaging out there of this is what's going into it.
Oh, I know what goes into it.
So then you can make the decision.
So I actually...
I'm not saying you have to agree. I'm just saying, like, I just don't think that there's a very good education of what actually is happening.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Well, it's the assumption that people are punching numbers in a computer, and then whatever it says, they're just doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, bye now.
No, I would say, like, as a whole, and this is, people might be surprised because while I've not done what Fred just did to dismiss the
you want to do it,
nerds, I generally do push back against the nerds a lot. I love that the nerds have at least allowed the coaches to open their minds a little bit and be a little bit more creative when it comes to some of these in-game decisions. I think that's a good development for the league. Too often it was, well, it's fourth down, we kick here, whether it be field goal or punt.
Let's go to Mike Vrabel.
Send anything we can, well wishes to Kevin and Letitia Falk, obviously, we're all heartbroken. Kevin was a teammate. He's a huge part of this legacy here of this football team, and the impact that he made and here and coaching in college and how much he loved LSU. And I'm sure that there's no words to describe what they're going through, but just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that we care deeply about Kevin and his family, and our thoughts and our prayers are with them. So obviously a tough time for that, but we have to prepare here.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Given the stakes, the atmosphere, the opponent, win or lose, do you see this game as kind of being valuable prep for what might lie ahead, assuming you get into the postseason?
Well, I hope that everything we do, we only get 17 opportunities, right? So that all of that has to be valuable prep. They all count the same at the end. This is a great stage that we put ourselves on, and that's exciting. But obviously, hopefully, we've been able to draw from different opportunities that we've had to help us. And so what we're focused on is the previous opportunities that can help us this week, and then whatever we're able to learn from the game on Sunday going forward to help us the next week, that's what we're trying to do.
Mike, what are some of the challenges of the second meeting within the division that you've seen over the years?
They've changed. They've continued to evolve, and they've continued to improve. And again, we talked about the respect that we have for them as a football team, players and coaches. You just draw on some games here in the past. I mean, it was 20-10 in our game. They didn't bat an eye. They came back and tied it in the fourth quarter. We were up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. We needed our best execution and kick to win it. Well, there was the Tampa Bay game, being down and then winning the game going away. Pittsburgh down 7-3, and then really just played tremendous football in the second half. And then last week, 2-score game with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So never any panic over there. It's a veteran team. They're familiar with their program. So however the game unfolds, we'll have to do everything that we can to play the entire 4 quarters or then some if we need to.
Mike, I know that Buffalo is talented all across the board, but in terms of their offense, how important to Josh Allen is the tight end part of that offense?
Well, I think that's grown. I think that, you can see when Kincaid's back out there, the matchup and his skill set in the passing game. Great speed and athleticism, catch radius, very quarterback friendly. Obviously, Dawson does a little bit of both. And then Hawes has just, been able to really, I would say, not only neutralize, but move the line of scrimmage on his responsibilities. And I think they just continued to evolve in that regard and using, all 3 of those guys.
Mike, the people in Las Vegas have you guys as underdogs Sunday at home.
Who are the people, Ben?
I guess the odds makers.
There you go. That's what they are. They're called odds makers, not people. There's a lot of people in Las Vegas. There's only a few of them that they trust to set the line.
So, do you pay attention to that? I mean, do you notice that?
No. I mean, again, it gets brought to attention. I don't think that, it's every week you see, in this league that records really don't mean anything, and the point spreads and survivor pools get blown up every week and all that other stuff. So we're just trying to focus on our preparation here and getting back into it. Had a good day Monday. Excited about the meetings thus far today, and then, progress through the week.
With Hilton and Kyris both being out for the last couple of games, what have you seen from the group of youngsters, specifically guys like Corey and Eric?
Yeah, and I think Corey's continued to improve and play a lot of football for us, and Eric's, taking the opportunities on Thursdays that we've had and those competitive practices to get better and Again, we'll need everybody up front. How important the ability to stop the run is this week, and that's just a large part of what they do. They have a lot of confidence in it. Not the only thing that they do. They do a lot of things well, but certainly they're going to run it until you stop them, and then they're going to have everything off of it.
Mike, on Josh Allen's long touchdown run last week, saw there was a defensive back who was still covering a wide receiver as Josh Allen was running into the end zone. And I'm just thinking, well, that's a perfect example why you don't want to play man against Allen. Does he remove things that you can do defensively because of his versatility?
Well, you just have to, again, I don't think you can sit in any one thing. And certainly there's situations where you have to play man in this league. And you have to be on body. But then again, there's other things that then have to account when you have an athletic quarterback. How are you going to account for the extra gap or the ability to scramble, to extend plays and all those different things. So I don't think that there's one particular coverage or defense or blitz that you can sit there and be in the entire game. I think it's about picking the opportunities, and then, when you get an opportunity to make a play on him, you got to do everything that you can to, to get him on the ground and not jump when he pump fakes or fall down when he stiff arms you or anything else.
In week 5, when you held James Cook to under 50 rushing yards, I'm just curious, when you look back at that film, what allowed defense to be so effective in limiting that run game?
Well, I think the way that we got, we were able to get a lead there and probably limited some of the carries in the second half, and that the way that the game unfolded. But, I think early on in the ability for our offense to possess the ball, we'll have to do everything we did in that game and then some to, try to neutralize him in the run game.
How enjoyable has it been to coach Matt Collins this season, and what's he meant to this team?
Matt brings a great spirit, to work every day. He's a great teammate. I actually showed a clip, from the first game on a kickoff coverage, and Mac's over there excited, not going in the game, but he's into it. Somebody made a tackle, and Mac's the first one cheering on the sidelines, and those are the little things that mean a lot, I think, to me. So again, we ask him to do a lot of different things, and again, I think just the spirit that he brings to work and the teammate that he is.
I believe the Bills use 5-man protections at one of the highest rates in the league. What allows them to live in that world, and also how do you weigh the balance between wanting to play coverage and rushing against that kind of scheme?
I think with a quarterback, and again, you bring 6 and they block 5, the quarterback's got the 6th one, so he pump fakes them or spins or stiff arms them. I think Josh just has a good ability to know when he's hot or know, where he needs to go with football. And even if it's a 4-man rush, I don't think he ever really panics, and he's able to extend or just find where he wants to go with the football. And when they do get 5 out, and so. And then the other question was, what did you ask me about? When do we need to pressure and when we decide to?
How you kind of work that?
Again, we have to mix it up. I think you just have to, pick and choose your spots. And again, you want to be sound in everything that you do. You don't want to just leave it up to chance and hope that he's not going to find somebody. You want to make sure that everybody's covered or that zones are accounted for, and that the rush lanes are sound, and that you have an ability to, defend. And you can't be cautious, but you have to, be sound, I think.
Mike, in all your time in the league, what commonalities have you seen in the rivalries you've participated in? Do you see any of those elements possibly here with Buffalo?
I just got here, so again, I know that they've won the division 5 years in a row. I don't think there's really much of a rivalry for those years. Maybe not. I don't know. I wasn't paying any attention to it. I'm just focused on a very good football team that, is used to winning, and they're determined and they're resilient, and we'll have to be at our best.
Mike, when it comes to, you mentioned sound rush lanes, whether you're blitzing or not,
How important is it this week against Allen to try to keep him in the pocket, do you think?
Well, you keep him in the pocket, and he's just going to stand there and wait for somebody to uncover. So, you know, I mean, again, I mean, you can keep him in the pocket. You can stand there, and we can all just stand there, and he'll do this, and I mean, you have to just, again, coordinated and relentless is probably the best way to phrase it. And because, again, you say, well, keep them in the pocket, and then guys are just standing there and they're cautious, and we don't want to coach that way. We want to make sure that we're trying to remain aggressive, but certainly sound. And, you know, when he does extend, then we're going to need to plaster and, you know, have guys, you know, be able to come up and help us.
How do you feel about the offense's ability to improve some of the short yardage and red zone issues that have cropped up the last few weeks?
Feel good like I do about everything that we're trying to coach and improve. And, you know, there's things that we've done really well. There's things that we've done okay. You know, so, again, whatever situation it is that comes up, we'll have to be prepared for it and be able to extend drives no matter what the down and distance is. And I think most importantly, you know, have a understanding of how critical the red zone is when you get down there, and that everything that we've been preaching and talking about, we'll have to continue to execute and make sure that we're doing everything we can, you know, to get touchdowns, and the difference that makes in close ball games and force them to kick field goals. The same thing can be said defensively. So I think we were both 2 for 4 last game, and, you know, again, that in a close game, that's about what it turned out to be. We made a kick at the end, and so if we can try to get them to kick field goals or attempt field goals, and, you know, we'll have to try to do everything we can to score touchdowns.
Mike, with Joe Brady, the way he calls the game, obviously they're confident in the run game. And Josh, do you see them as more of a game plan, week-to-week offense, or kind of do what we do operation?
I mean, I think there's elements of both. I think that they have their stuff that's staple, that they dress up a little bit, and they have sometimes some game plan plays that show up. You know, that they find great ways to disguise and give it a different presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate. Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, "Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money." Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/one-rate for details. Exclusions apply.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
That means that the Patriots are indeed the champions of the American Football Conference of the National Football League.
What do you remember about the 1985 Patriots?
We got this far. This
This ain't stopping us now. We're going to win the next one.
A team that made New England believe.
If you have a group of people that can pull together the way these guys did, there's no limit to what you can do.
Now, 40 years later, we're going back to revisit the team that changed everything.
That 85 season really put us in the spotlight of Boston and Massachusetts and New England.
We were the first to ever even break through in the playoffs and break through to get to the Super Bowl.
We're the first team to ever go to the Super Bowl that many road trips.
We were the very first to get this franchise to a Super Bowl.
Hear reflections from the players and coaches who lived it.
Raymond Berry brought that team together, and he was the reason. There's no question about it. He was the reason we got to the Super Bowl, and we had a lot of fun getting there.
Brothers, man. Love you, man.
The Duke drives into the end zone. Touchdown, New England.
They were a special group in their own right because they were well-grounded and they came to the mentality of what it really does take to be a good football team.
Mixed with the unforgettable sounds of the 1985 season.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, baby. It stinks. The jinx is dead, baby. I'm too young to remember that anyway. I don't know nothing about it either.
From the fumble drills and the goalpost walking down Route 1 to squish the fish and bury the bears. Join us for another edition of the Patriots Super Bowl Sound Odyssey, 1985, a 10-part podcast available starting this December on all Patriots platforms.
And now, great moments in history.
Time of day, like second, minute,
hour.
Oh. Is the H in that word silent?
It is. They all sound the same to me.
Yeah, that's the difference. Hour.
You are correct, Mike.
Hour.
To most of us,
Is it our house or our house?
Our house.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
our
it is.
house.
in the middle
Yes,
of the
it
street.
is.
Eric, you know what a dictionary is.
You just
look it up.
You just completely butchered the name
How
of
many-
a town in Massachusetts on a call earlier
How
this
many
morning
syllables?
that you should easily know.
Look it up, Eric.
Gloucester.
Don't take my word.
I live in Gloucester, Mass.
Eric, don't take my word for it.
Gloucester.
Eric, do not take my word for it.
I don't.
Look
I
it
don't
up.
take your word for anything.
Look it up. How many syllables does OUR have? Look it up.
I don't have a dictionary in front of me.
I
have one upstairs.
You don't have one printed out?
We have this thing called the internet. Look it up. Don't take my word for it.
Matt, go ahead. Look it up.
How many syllables in the word OUR?
And what are you saying? One?
One. Yeah.
He's saying that the word ARE and OUR are pronounced exactly the same.
R.
Our.
One. One. There you go. And there it is.
Our.
Paul?
And there it is.
Paul?
He's trying to do technology right now.
Our.
Who's saying that?
Our.
Somebody from China?
That's the dictionary. The dictionary pronunciation key.
You told me to look it up. I looked it up in the dictionary, and it has the pronunciation.
How many
the audible.
syllables?
Hour.
Hour.
He just said one.
Well, I'm just playing.
Are you
it for
not listening to the pronunciation?
Let me see that.
Hour.
Let me see it. Hold on.
So Fred's picking up the phone now.
It has
He's,
the little.
One syllable.
It has the little pronunciation guide.
One syllable.
How you pronounce it.
Did you hear how it was pronounced?
It's one
I
syllable.
don't care how many syllables it is. It's pronounced hour.
Yeah.
Hour. It is not hour.
That's another great moment from
Paul, you done with your Christmas shopping yet?
Yeah.
You are?
I am.
Well, not everyone is.
No, I know. Some people procrastinate, Fred.
And if you're still searching for the perfect holiday gift, you can score big on wow-worthy home gifting now at Bob's. Shop everything from feature-packed living room seating to cozy electric fireplaces just in time for game day. Plus, discover storage solutions and versatile bedroom options for any space, making holiday hosting easier than ever. Stop in or shop online by December 18th for delivery by Christmas. So if you want it by Christmas, by December 18th, you need to place your order. And snag winning offers on gifts this year with Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots. It's kind of hard to wrap a couch, though.
Yeah. Got a big big TV for my parents.
Yeah.
That were, all the kids are giving them, and having a hard time wrapping that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. It's big. I think Beth is going to try to get one of those bags.
So this is what you
put
do.
it in, and then you're almost like a sack.
This is what you do. This is how you do it.
How do you do it?
They open up a card, and it says, "Go into the other room to see what this is." And so that way you don't have to worry about it sitting there. It's like, well, that's a TV. You put it in you hide it somewhere in the house, and then they have to go get it, and then they see it's a TV.
Oh, so don't wrap it, you're saying?
You don't have to wrap it, right?
Yeah, I think we'll probably wrap it.
Okay.
I think that Beth is very anti-Christmas gifts that aren't wrapped.
Yeah.
Like, even like stocking stuffers need to be wrapped.
Well, I guess you can still wrap it, but you put it in the other room, so it's not evident. It's not sitting out there that, oh, this is a TV.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be a lot of things.
Okay.
It does look like a TV, though. I would agree. It's kind of hard to say.
You ever,
I don't think that's a TV.
You ever listen to Sebastian Maniscalco, that comedian?
Yes.
He's got a funny bit where his father comes. Everything his father looks into. How much you pay for that? And he goes,
yes.
You pay what? I could have made that. He goes, you could make a 75-inch TV?
I could have made it for $1.
You could make a 75-inch TV?
I love some of those. Those bits are great.
Oh, yeah. All right, 855-PATS-500. Evan has gone because, he needs to go talk to the players, and Deuce is out there because he needs to talk to the players, but they'll be back, right? Oh, no, Evan won't be.
Yeah, Mike will be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Evan's coming back tomorrow. You were a little mean to him before the break.
Oh, yeah? You think I heard him? I heard him where the analytics don't shine?
I think you hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
With the analytics don't shine.
He's got an analytics ass right now?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do think the infusion of the nerds, I think overall has been a very good thing for the NFL, because I think it has allowed coaches to show more creativity and not just do what they've always done for decades. I do think there needs to be a balance. I think the best coaches have demonstrated the ability to adapt and change based on what's going on. And like I said, I think that's one thing that I would give Mike Vrabel an edge in, is if the game unfolds in a certain way, I don't think we're going to be necessarily critiquing his decisions. I haven't agreed with every one of them that he's made this year.
Yep.
I'm not telling you that everything that they've done, the Patriots have done, well, I agree with that. The one that they went for from their own 15-yard line early in the year, I think it was Pittsburgh. They ended up getting it. I thought that was insane.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think his ability to adapt based on the way the game is unfolding, I think has been
insane.
Well, it's been different. You know what I mean? It's not just it's not like, well, I'm going for it every time because the book tells me to go for it. He's shown the ability to adapt.
Good. He's a reasonable and common sense person, in other words.
Yeah.
Jeffrey in Canada writes in, first off, great to hear all the fellow Canadians chiming in today. Must be a day off up in Canada.
We did get a lot of Canadian phone calls today.
Yeah, it's weird. The Patriots do have a large following in Canada, especially on the East Coast. Bills are a Toronto team. I believe a third of their season tickets are owned by Canadians. However, I must defend Jordan, who called. Evan did say shootout was how we'd win, and maybe he misspoke, but he said he's not worried about the Texans or Broncos because they have weaker offenses, which I'm not saying he's wrong, but the caller was correct.
Yeah, I don't remember what Evan said in terms of shootout, or if he did or didn't say it. I think what Evan's point was, and he can speak for himself tomorrow.
He said he may not come back anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think his point is he doesn't see anybody being able to completely shut down Drake May. So they'll be able to score enough points. In the case of Denver and Houston, these are the two teams that have particularly rankled his feathers, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like they have the offenses to keep up with the Patriots. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to win 38-35.
Yeah.
Like, in other words, he thinks if I can get to 24 against those teams, I'm going to win because the other team can't get there.
Yeah.
I think that's Evan's point. It might be a semantic argument, which is the basis of so many of our arguments here on Patriots Unfiltered.
Yeah. All right. Back to the phones. Marty is in the Pacific Northwest. Hey, Marty. Marty.
Marty.
Marty. Oh, we didn't talk about Mike Vrabel. Anything come out of that of interest, do you think?
No, we should mention, though, and he opened up his press conference. It was a tragedy with Kevin Falk lost his
second daughter.
Yeah, 30-year-old daughter I don't really know any of the details other than she passed away.
She was in the hospital. Yeah.
So Mike did open that up and talked about, just
but that's
how instrumental
that's his
Kevin
second
was.
daughter that he's lost.
Yeah, that's an unspeakable tragedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought a lot of respect, obviously, from Vrabel for Buffalo and for Josh Allen in particular. That's where it mostly centered on. But like the whole thing about how to attack him, I think Mike is right. You can't attack him one way. Like if you want to try to be passive in the pass rush and keep him in the pocket, he's just going to stand back there and direct traffic. If you want to go after him, then you better get him.
Right.
So, I think Taylor Kyles asked him about Buffalo's propensity to only keep 5 in protection. And Mike said, yeah, you can send 6 if they're only going to block 5, but you better have that 6th guy, better get him.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're in trouble. So I think Tom Curran asked him about the long touchdown run that Allen had in the Cincinnati game. Is that why you can't play man? And he said, well, if you only do one thing, that's not the right way to do it either. And we did look it up when Mike was still here. That was one of their higher man games. That was the first time against Buffalo. And I think that speaks to the lack of explosiveness in the Bills receiving core. I think they feel like they can shut down these guys with man coverage. So I think that's the way he goes about it. But yeah, Allen's ability to run in those situations obviously is a concern.
Yep. Ishan is in Boston. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Ishan.
Yep, you're pronouncing it correct. Hey guys, I'm a first-time caller, a long-time listener.
Nice,
and
welcome.
I think you guys might have talked about this earlier with the idea of like whether we can compete in a shootout, but I just didn't catch it. My question was about, I know we've talked a lot about we're not sure if this offense can keep up in, I guess, like a shootout-like game, but my question was, is there not concern about seeing this Patriots team win in a comeback fashion? And I'm talking about like down 14, 17 points at half, because I think it's much easier for a defense to let up a lot of points, but if the quarterback is kind of like the engine of the team, you could have Drake May go off for 4 touchdowns and keep you in the game in a shootout. But I think it becomes a lot more difficult when the offense is struggling for the defense to hold up its end of the bargain, because I think that the energy across the team might be a bit lower when the offense is struggling. So I was just wondering on your guys' opinion on the importance of seeing a major comeback game before we hit the playoffs, as opposed to something like a shootout where we know our offense can score a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's so hard to manufacture those things.
Well, and I
It's
understand the
thanks,
question
Ishan.
totally. I just think that I don't ever want to be down 17.
Right.
And forget about manufacturing something. I don't think if you come back from down 17 in the regular season, that doesn't make me any more confident in the playoffs if I'm down 17. Now, I understand what his point is. Like the players will know. We've been here before.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We can do this. I get it. It's not going to make the situation any less dire.
And we're impatient, because like you said it right there. We've been there before. In order to have been there before, you kind of need a time to experience all those different scenarios. Really, we're only talking one season so far. Forget about last season.
No, you're right.
I wiped that from my memory. So there's only so many games in which to experience different scenarios. We haven't seen everything yet, and it's going to take time before this version of the Patriots sees all those conditions.
So I totally get it. They haven't really had to come back. And what you're talking about is, multi-score deficits late in the game. That's desperation time. I don't care how many times that you do it.
When was the first time Brady experienced that in his career?
Oh, like his first home
win? Was it?
Second home win against the Chargers.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, they were down 10 with like 3 minutes left.
Was that San Diego?
Yeah, they ended up winning in overtime.
Right. I remember. Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I get it. Use the most glaring example. Coming back from 28-3 in the Super Bowl, I don't know if you felt better about it because, the Patriots have done this before.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't.
They never did that before. The Denver game, they were down 24-0 or something like that.
24-0, yeah. But, Tom Brady had established his ability to come from behind.
Right.
And I think there was a belief in Brady. And I think you've heard anecdotes from defensive players on the sideline. No. We got Brady.
From the other team,
Even
too.
the other team.
Right.
Mohamed Sanu, I think, said it.
Yeah.
But that's not a situation that you want to find yourself in the playoffs.
No.
Like, there's nobody that would say, like, it's okay because we've been here before.
Right.
Now everything's got to be perfect.
But like, if your team's that good, you don't have that situation.
Right.
So, like, which do you
or
want?
if the other team is that bad and they're not good enough to get that kind of a lead on you.
Right. So,
which that's the
yeah,
argument.
it's true. We haven't really experienced that yet, so we don't know. But it is what it is. There'll be a first time for everything, hopefully, because this is going to last for a while with this head coach and this quarterback. Sean's in Vancouver. What's up, Sean?
Sean.
I really hope that Tonga is going to play this week. Not amongst the PU crew, but general NFL chatter. He's been a real unsung hero, and he's going to help on the defensive line, but also in short yardage and running the ball because his blocking has been anything close to real fullback. So that's someone the Patriots could really use. So I'll just leave you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think his return would be a welcome one to handle James Cook. I'm less concerned about the handful of snaps that he get as a fullback. I don't dismiss it. I think he does a fairly good job in that regard. But the run defense has been sagging, and I think part of it is everybody talks about Milton Williams, but I think Tonga's been part of that too. So
yeah,
to have those guys back, as many of those guys back, yeah.
Yep.
The more the merrier.
Let's see. Bruno writes in, subject line, how to enhance analytics with how my defense is doing. It's pretty easy. Besides score, clock, and down and distance, you factor in EPA and success rate for both teams into the equation. That should be pretty straightforward. You only need to figure out the coefficients for each metric.
Yeah,
a more advanced version could also take into account season advanced metrics for the teams as well as players individually, so you could factor in key injuries as well. But at this point, you might be needing the guys coding ChatGPT to join the NFL analytics team. But in any case, it's only just odds. And the fun part of sports is that on any given Sunday, you can beat them.
Yeah, I want to do less odds. I think that's been a welcome change, that teams are more willing to take some of that into consideration. But I don't want to do it strictly based on numbers. I don't want to add more numbers, especially EPA.
Yep.
Like expected stuff that's not real.
Yep.
I don't want to necessarily add more numbers into my thought process.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do think, I know people probably don't believe me, but I do like the fact that teams go for it on fourth down far more often, far more frequently, and I think that's been a good development for the league.
Matt from Saskatchewan says, I meant to send this into Catch 22, and as I assume Barth probably knows this information off the top of his head, I was wondering how everyone feels about Drake May in the clutch, as we haven't really seen it outside the Buffalo game in Week 4. I vaguely remember during the draft cycle that he did not have a great record in come-from-behind games in college. And I was wondering if you have any concerns about his ability to do so as we approach the playoffs. We'll inevitably have to come from behind to win against better teams. So in the clutch, a little bit different than come from behind, 17 points. Just got to have it.
Yeah, he hasn't really had any of those.
Yeah.
Even the one that we're talking about was a tie game.
Yep.
So he didn't have to do it.
Right.
No, I don't have concerns, only because I would be concerned if I had seen him fail in those situations. Like last year, I'm with you. I completely throw away last year.
Yeah.
This year, with this team and this personnel around him, they haven't failed in those situations.
But the other thing about that is,
I guess that's not really true. They were down a touchdown against Pittsburgh and he fumbled. So I guess that's one negative.
And it's not 100% fair to just say, how was Drake May in the clutch? How is your team in the clutch? Because even during the Brady years when, you had those times where you had to convert third down after third down in critical games, in the fourth quarter, it was great plays by Gronk, great plays by Edelman, a stupid play by the other team, all those things, so you got to look at your team too. How are other guys been in the clutch? Do they have mental, brain farts and, have offsides?
You're right.
So there's so much that goes.
It's about the quarterback, though. I mean, let's face it.
Well, it is. he can't screw up either. But is it a team like that has a propensity to do a stupid play like they did the last 4 years? I don't think so. I think fundamentally they're more sound. Santo is, by the way, he's a PhD, so you got to listen to what he's saying.
Good for you.
He says, in terms of Evan being an advanced scout, he says, I agree. Evan could fit in as an advanced scout. I've been so impressed with his insights and more so with his rationale of his opinions. Clearly, he does his homework. I even enjoyed his analysis of the upcoming drafts, looking at all the talent coming out. Can't believe the scouts the Patriots have are that much superior. Well, there you go.
This is not a joke. I've said this to him since he started working with us, and we sort of got to know what he's all about. And I've asked him many times if he's ever given any thought to trying to get into the business, and he says no.
It's a tough life.
Not really.
It is
a tough life.
On a side note, what is the logic for the title of Catch 22? Is it related to the book? If so, well, it is kind of a nod to the book, and the all 22 film.
Yeah.
The all 22 film is so much about what he and Barth do.
They catch what all 22 are doing, as well as like it's a pun on the play on words with Catch 22.
So they use the all 22 film as a part of their research, and so it's a.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Is that like
Catch 22?
Yeah.
Oh, I came up with that.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, in all seriousness,
yeah,
it's one of the best titles that I've heard for anything like that.
Yeah, but obviously it's an ode. It's an ode to the movie and the book.
It's perfect.
Yep, Joseph Heller's book, I believe, Catch 22. Predictions. If I planned against the Patriots this Sunday, I would try to win by keeping May on the sideline, so the running game would need to be important. Still, I would not be surprised if the Patriots would be ready for that game plan, so the Patriots win because we have a better coaching staff and, dare I say, the better quarterback. I think it's a toss-up.
I think both of those things remain to be seen.
Yeah. I think it's a toss-up. So it's going to come down to just a few plays.
Yeah, I mean, the first game, people, I think it was so long ago, I don't think people remember just how badly Buffalo played in that game. Like, they had 3 turnovers and 11 penalties.
Yep.
And still had the ball with a chance to go ahead and had a very close pass breakup that could have gone either way. That's interference or it's a pass breakup, right? And the Bills could have taken the lead. And they couldn't have played much worse. So I just would caution on the whole, you have the edge here, you have the edge here, you have the edge here stuff. Like, this is, I think Buffalo's pretty good. They're not having a great year. They're not healthy. I think you're catching them at a great spot. I think they've sort of invested a lot of energy the last couple of weeks. The Patriots have a very good chance to win this game. That's why I'm picking them. I think all the intangibles are in the Patriots side.
Do you think, like, picking up Brandon Cooks and who's the other guy they picked up off the street? I forget, another veteran. Is it any sign that they believe we got to do this now?
They don't have anybody. That's what it's a sign in.
Yeah.
All their guys are hurt.
Well,
Curtis Samuel's on IR. Josh Palmer's been out the last couple of weeks. Dalton Kincaid missed a month. Like, they needed guys to come in and catch the ball. He was available.
Yeah. Dylan in Nashville, I just want to point out that Belichick's 6 Super Bowls in New England came with 2 offensive coordinators, Charlie Weiss and Josh McDaniels. Is McDaniels our most important offseason acquisition? Well, I would say it's Vrabel, but he's number 2 maybe. Or,
acquisitions, I mean, I don't know. They signed a lot of players that have been very, very important to the team.
But any more important than McDaniels?
Yeah, players are more important than coaches.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm not dismissing the coaching in this, but I'm not doing this again.
I like Josh. I think Josh is doing
I was
good.
on the wrong side of history before. I ain't doing it again. I'm serious. I was on the Bill over Brady until, like, I was wrong.
Yep.
And, like, fool me once.
Dylan in South Florida says the anti-Patriot disdain online is back. To start off, it's fantastic to be back again now. Online, the vitriol against the Patriots and fans is back in full strength. On Twitter, you got idiotic Denver fanboys yapping off, and now for some reason, Baltimore fans. So we're so back. Not one tweet by opposing fans goes by without downplaying May and the team. It's pathetic, really. I bask in it. We are back. Happy holidays to all. Go Pats. AFC title in maybe February 6th. So there you go. Let's see. BB in New Hampshire writes in. I'm so hungry.
I know you didn't. You got stiff today.
I did.
It's not like our boys there.
I see Alex leaving now, but I don't know.
Maybe he's calling.
They forgot about me. What kind of offense do you think we'll see this week against Buffalo? Do you predict we see lots from Hunter Henry, more of a Diggs and Booty game? I personally don't know what to expect, but I'm interested to see how this approach is different from our first matchup with Buffalo. Other than May, who has to stand out for the Patriots to win this game?
I would say the front seven. They can't allow James Cook to pile up the yards.
Defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Defense.
Yeah. Oh, just offense we're talking about?
Yeah, he was talking about. I'm talking about offense. Who has to, is it a tight end game? Is it a running game? Is it, downfield opening it up for the running game?
I think it's a good thing. It's a positive sign that Josh McDaniels has set this up, and you just never know from week to week who that guy's going to be. The first Buffalo game, it was Diggs.
Yep.
But how many times have we seen it be a different guy? 5? It was Matt Collins a week. It was Keyshawn Boutte a week. It was Hunter Henry a week. It could be anybody. Demario Douglas. Yep. I just don't know. I wouldn't know who to pick to predict that it's going to be this guy this week.
Right.
But somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody would have to have a good game in the someone
someone
have to be productive.
I'd love to see as we get closer to the playoffs, week to week, Diggs having high production games. Establishing that guy, similar to how other teams, number one, does it every week, where Diggs is getting at least, 70, 80 yards minimum every game.
Yeah, I just don't think that he's that guy anymore that can do. And it's not really anything to do with his ACL. He wasn't that guy in Houston last year before the ACL. He was on pace for a 1,000-yard season. That's what he's going to do. He's their number one. But I don't think he's like a 1,500-yard guy, 1,400-yard guy like he was in the past.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about it, Fred, is that maybe he isn't doing the 6 or 7 for 100 every week, but it seems pretty much every week when he has a low production game, it's 1 or 2 that come on 3rd and 4th down.
Yes, he's the third down guy.
The 4th down, really, he's been the guy almost every time.
Yeah. No, he's definitely.
So he might not have a big week. He might get 3 for 32 yards, but 2 of those are on 4th down that are instrumental when you're winning the game.
Yeah. Let's see. Who's this?
I don't know.
He doesn't say. But his subject line is "Don't fear the Bills, Ravens, and Texans," and reasons why. I hear all the.
Do you know the previous email that said "We're back"?
Yeah.
That to me is the proof that we're back. We have now completely dismissed everybody else.
I hear all the fear.
We're back.
So this person says, I hear all the fear about facing the Texans in the playoffs. Let's not forget how absolutely dialed in Diggs was the first time against the Bills. I'm confident he will be at least as dialed in against the Texans, who decided to not invest in him after a season-ending injury for that team. Motivation? Hell yeah. I'm not fearing the Bills and Ravens games. I think our teams, our players, and our coaches will show up. They might not get a dub, but they will show up, compete, and they will learn about themselves and work on any remaining holes in their operation.
Yeah, the Ravens aren't in this conversation. They're not a good team this year. It is what it is. They're 6-7. Right?
Yeah.
The other ones, I don't dismiss.
No,
I don't dismiss 9-4 teams.
They're going the wrong direction, the Ravens.
Right.
Jared in L.A. Has a problem with show attendance. My only major gripe with the show is that the cast is so infrequent. Even Paul starting to not appear on show days the day before Thanksgiving was poor to me.
So I'll just let you know, the day before Christmas Eve will be another one.
You're going to do
December 23rd. I have my show.
Holiday fill-in host.
Holiday fill-in work, I have 281,000 miles on my car. I need something.
We should do, that starts at 2, right?
Yeah, it's 2 to 6.
So I was going to say we could do a crossover. Yeah. But the most bothersome miss almost every week is Evan not being at picks. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me that you need to be gone for that to catch quotes from Vrabel, and even I have access to. Even Alex makes the picks, and it's annoying that she's never there to accept them. I don't know what that means. I truly think you all need to do better and should treat this more seriously rather than taken for granted approach most of you have now. Love the show. I skip Christian and LA's time on the show every time. If I ever run into him, I will think about tripping him. Okay? Jay's kind of.
I would assume that that's a little tongue in cheek, but if it's not, if it's serious, I would just say there are other things that go on. Like I almost never miss a show. Like when I miss a show, it's because I get an opportunity to fill in, as Fred likes to make fun of me for the holiday fill-in guy. Otherwise, I'm here every show for the full show. But for Mike and Evan, the locker room is open. There are things that they need to do. Like that's part of what we do here. Yeah. Like it's not just this show. I love the show. Fred loves the show. That's why we're here more often than not. But I don't necessarily make fun of the others that have to go to the locker room, as an example.
Yeah. Nate in Connecticut writes in, Buffalo doesn't scare me too much. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a 50-50 chance that who will win the game on Sunday. But I think the Patriots have the ability to beat any team in the NFL this season. I'm just hoping for a very competitive and entertaining game. The Patriots have surpassed my expectations this season, and no matter how the rest of the season goes, I'll be pretty happy. But, of course, I'm rooting for them to win the Super Bowl. I love the show. Coming up on 20 years of listening. Well,
yeah, I would agree with that, the tenor of that email. Like, I don't think you should be afraid of any of these teams. So if you want to use that word, scared, I'm not. I would agree. But you also said, I think it's like a 50-50 game. I would agree with that, too. I could see Buffalo winning. I could see the Patriots winning. I think the Patriots have some edges in this game that are going to be the difference.
Tay from Nebraska writes in, we've got a big game not only this weekend, but also next. I do think they both potentially could really tell us about if this team at this point in the year is ready to make a postseason run.
Look who's back from the
speaking of runs,
4 minutes. Were the players friendly to that? None of them look like Derrick Henry. Hey, Mike, what was it like?
Wow, just under the bar here. Huh?
Guys, it was crazy in there. This is like, I haven't seen a locker room like this busy in, maybe go back to 2019.
Was there a lot of out of town? A lot of Buffalo people?
Just a lot of new faces, a couple out of town, but reporters, cameras, scrum. We did a bunch. We talked to Diggs at the top, as we always do, but him, Gonzalez, Tonga, Vidarian Lowe, Mac Hollins. Usually we get maybe 2 or 3, but it's... And
what was your read from Tonga? Did you get a read?
He was asked about it, and I think he's still dealing with something. But Rochi asked him, specifically, like, how are you feeling? You ready to play both sides of the ball? And he's like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. It was kind of playing a little coy. And the big theme, I would just say.
But he asked a leading question, not are you going to play, but how do you feel about playing both sides of the ball?
Yeah. No, that's classic Rochi. But a lot of stuff about just playing a team a second time. What is the game plan like now? Just saying everything is kind of on tape, and teams are ultimately going to do what they do best. They might have some wrinkles, but they're going to get back to what they've done best. But I can't say enough about the atmosphere in the locker room today. And a lot of guys, you're underdogs now. Diggs was like, I hadn't heard that, and I didn't know.
So was it upbeat?
Yeah. It was very upbeat. Yeah.
Music? Any music?
No music, but just commotion. There's just so many people in the locker room. It's Paul, on Fridays there's like a little clump usually in the middle, but this is just
any elbowing,
spread out. Not really. Well, people
I like it when
respect my personal space.
Usually the cameramen start
it gets physical.
They start yelling at writers in front of their camera.
Move your head.
Yeah.
They bang you in the head with the microphone.
But Diggs was funny. He's like, are you excited? It's like, yeah, I'm excited. You probably can't tell though. So he's playing it cool to the vest, close to the vest. But yeah, it's just you can tell the energy is really good right now, and they're getting ready to go out there.
Evan.
I couldn't even see him. I see him in there, but it's just a massiss of humanity. The whole locker room.
Paul thinks I might
make it to the locker room because I think
Evan?
Fred.
Oh,
I think
Paul thinks I might have hit a nerve there, and
I think Fred hurt his feelings.
He seemed okay. I crossed paths with him a couple times, but I didn't see what he was, getting himself into. But it was
good news, Fred. Your food's here.
I can eat afterwards. All right,
you might have to find a new
better
place.
late than never. Yeah.
So there it is. I ran back because we were just going scrum to scrum to scrum, and then I'm like, oh man, I got to get back to tell the guys like this was really active locker room.
Tell them what I've seen.
Feels like a playoff. Feels like a
all right.
It's a hat and t-shirt game.
It's only going to get bigger.
It's a hat and t-shirt game. It is a big game.
they all get harder, and
Well, next year they'll have a bigger locker room, so it won't feel so crowded.
They're going to need it, hopefully. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered. Good show. A lot of analytics talk and debunkery. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. Big show because we've got picks.
Gotta hurry.
Yeah. Let's see if that line changes, but we'll see you tomorrow.
This is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.